Live from Sagewood Studios, it's the first annual Toasty Awards. West Coast Toast and Roast proudly presents the year-end ceremony with several celebrity guests including Al Roker, Chrissy Teigen, Anya Taylor-Joy, Michael Jordan, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, Olivia Wilde,
Weird Al,
Steven Spielberg. Ooh. Troy's like, oh, really?
and Jeff Goldblum.
Jeff Goldblum.
Hey, we may need to stop, pause recording because Tommy is, peeking all over the place.
Well, I guess I am a little extra, right?
Well, you're also facing the mic, so it's going to pick up that one the most.
Should I back up a little?
Maybe.
Yeah, maybe.
It's okay, Troy.
As long as the compression.
Welcome, I'm one of your proud hosts, Tommy.
I am also a proud host, Will.
I'm a diabetic dickbag, Dav.
And that panel of celebrity guests I mentioned canceled. So instead, I called upon the three worst guys I know.
Hey, I'm Brandon. I guess I'm going to be one of the judges.
I'm Troy Bowen, and I'm too good to be here.
And I'm Eric, and I guess I am a piece of shit.
Don't say that about yourself.
That's what they already said.
So, it's a double pack. That's right. Three special guests in addition to your three always favorite West Coast Toast and Roast hosts to present the first ever Toasty Awards, the first annual special. Troy, do you want to add something?
We're a six-pack.
A six-pack, yeah. A sinister six, if you will.
Oh, yeah.
So, how this is going to work is we have 9 main awards to present for mine, Will, and Dav's favorite movies, shows, and games of the year. Then, the 3 winners within each category will go head-to-head with the debative help of our panel of judges, Troy, Brandon, and Eric, to decide the grand champion of the universe of each of those mediums. Alright, well, the first award of the evening is the Back to the Future Award, presented to Will's favorite movie of the year.
All right, the nominees are The Batman, Puss in Boots: The Last Wish, The Bad Guys, Bullet Train, and Guillermo del Toro's Pinocchio.
Yeah.
And the winner of the Back to the Future Award is, drumroll please, The Bad Guys, which should be incredibly obvious if you know me. The reason why I think The Bad Guys is the best film of the year, number one, the animation is stellar. It's probably the most pleasing animation I've seen in recent years, besides maybe Spider-Verse. All the characters are super well done in both voice, personality, and animation. The story is awesome. It's a great message about how sometimes people are shoehorned into roles and they can't really get out of it because no one else views them as anything else. But when you decide to be good and go against a nature of getting hurt, you may still get hurt, but in the greater scheme of things, it will hold out. And the action scenes and the car chases are legitimately better than anything I've seen in live action in the past 5 years. So I have a big recommendation for The Bad Guys, and it will be getting my Back to the Future, because that's my favorite movie award.
Yeah, you're missing a big reason, though.
How come?
You're a furry.
Hey, I'm not going to hear this from Dav. I like Diane Foxington.
You guys, the newscaster in that movie is really cute.
Yeah.
Sure.
Anyway, so, well, I almost wondered if Puss in Boots would, edge out at the last minute there. We saw that movie yesterday.
Yeah.
Yesterday.
I loved Puss in Boots, and I thought it had good action, or, incredible action sceens. It's probably my third favorite movie of the year, because The Batman's my second.
And next to The Bad Guys, it's almost 6 of one, half dozen of the other. I think they're both awesome.
Yeah.
But I also know you're a cat guy.
That is true, yeah. I don't know. I guess I liked the style in The Bad Guys a bit more, with the cars and the animation and stuff.
Yeah.
But Puss in Boots: The Last Wish was really, really good.
It was way better than it had any right to be.
Yeah.
I think The Bad Guys was inspired by, visually it was inspired by Lupin the Third.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, well, he does a loop and run.
Yeah, when they jump out the window, it kind of looks like Lupin the Third.
Yep.
I don't know if it's going to be a Toasties Award without me saying something that pisses people off, can I?
Yeah, go ahead.
Go for it.
Can I just say, fuck Guillermo del Toro's Pinocchio.
Oh,
Guillermo del Toro made a stop-motion movie that looks so perfect it might as well be CGI. Good for you, man.
See, my counter to that is that that very particular type of animation doesn't need to look imperfect.
What do you mean?
Like, why does stop motion need to look imperfect?
I don't know if it needs to. I just like...
But if you're going to detract points for it not looking imperfect, then you're admitting that it needs to look perfect.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
You admit it.
What? Well, I think
Hey,
I feel
this
like
is
we're
a
in like
no
I feel like
swearing podcast, Eric.
yeah, this is a Christian podcast. I don't,
Oh, really?
We're the
Oh.
Try Guys. Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
I love my wife.
I'm about to say I'm about to go cheat on them.
Oh, you didn't like Guillermo del Toro's Pinocchio? You'd much rather watch the live action remake?
That's what I was
Oh!
about to say. I'm like, you like that one more?
No, oh heavens, no! Listen.
But it has imperfect live action.
Yeah.
That's a problem, honestly. That's a problem.
Because it looks like shit.
That's
It
Tom
looks
Hanks
like
as
shit.
Geppetto.
Oh, Pinocchio! I don't think Tom Hanks is an actor anymore.
Tom Hanks did not have a good
I
year
think
this
the
year.
COVID like just poisoned his brain, and now he wanders onto set and just goes insane.
Definitely had a weak year.
Yeah.
I mean,
I love.
I mean,
Have you seen the clip from Elvis where he's on the phone?
Dude, I've seen the movie.
He's white.
I mean,
That's him listening to this podcast.
I guess,
He's white.
if nothing else, there's always, Father, when can I leave to be on my own?
That's Pauly Shore.
Yeah, Polish.
I've got the whole world to see.
All right, well, in remembrance, the Back to the Future Award goes to the bad guys. Thank you, everybody. It will move on to duel the next two award winners for Toasty Film of the Year. The next award is the Train to Busan Award, bestowed to Dav's favorite film of the year.
Alright, it's time to whip out my top 5 nominees for this year. So we've got The Batman, another list here. The Bad Guys. Jordan Peele's Nope. Everything Everywhere All at Once. And Triple R. Now this was a very, very close decision. But the one that just barely edged out was Everything Everywhere All at Once.
Yeah. Oh yeah, we saw that one. That was really good. Great casting, great ideas,
Yeah,
and nice story.
there you go. I mean, Michelle Yeoh is like perfect in that role. So.
She's
Oh
amazing.
yeah. No, that's probably one of my favorite protagonists in recent memory.
Yeah.
Dude,
Yeah.
they make you cry over rocks.
The fucking rocks.
It's like one of the most beautiful scenes I've seen in a long time.
Will and I kind of disagreed on this, but I was like, you need to see Everything Everywhere in a theater, because when you're in like a vacant room and there's just the two rocks on a giant screen, it hits like a fucking truck.
This stuff, I was lucky enough to catch this in theaters because they didn't really do a long enough release. I don't think, honestly.
It like started off because like I'm in a situation where I live walking distance from a theater where I can catch superhero movie number 65 any day I want. I have to take the bus to go see something relatively indie. I had to take the bus to see Everything Everywhere. Then after a month, it was like at my walking distance theater for a long time.
That's where I saw it. I saw it at that theater.
Yeah, so I think it like gained a little more traction as like this at least a little bit. I was a little upset. I saw like a statistic of the highest earning movies of the year, like the top 20 or so, and I didn't think it would be like top 5. I was a little upset it didn't even crack past like Lightyear or some shit.
Oh yeah.
Unfortunately. But this is a movie that had a lot of heart. It was a really good message. A lot of the sort of generational trauma, that's putting the message of that, and I relate to it, and I think it's great. But also, I mean, it's just the action is amazing.
Fucking boss battle, Jenny Slate swinging the dog. Fucking amazing.
It also had a raccoon voiced by Randy Newman.
That's
No.
Rakakuni.
Rakakuni.
It also had James Hong. I love James Hong.
James Hong was great. How do you pronounce his name? Kihoi Kwan. Coming back.
Oh yeah, super good.
Best known as like Short Round or Data in the Goonies. So see him make this big comeback has also been great. Him and Brendan Fraser kind of making their comebacks lately.
Yeah.
Oh,
We still gotta see The Whale.
Yeah, we do have to see that.
I've seen the play. It's a good play.
It's a good. Okay, all right.
Wait,
Fucking Fraser over here. I've seen the play.
yeah, I've seen the play. It actually will premiere in Denver in 20...
Really?
Yeah, it was in 2012.
God, I had no idea.
But I saw a community production.
So wait,
of
The Whale was a play first?
Yeah.
Okay.
It was a play first. Premiered at Denver in 2012, and then it made its known in West Coast Theater in Oregon, I think.
Hey, West Coast.
You know, there are 2 Disney Broadway musicals that premiered in Denver. Like there was The Little Mermaid, and then there was Frozen. I saw that one in Denver.
Yeah, well, that doesn't really have anything to do with the whale, Troy.
No, it has
They
to do with-
got to
it has to
do
with
anything about a morbidly obese man trying to rekindle his relationship with his daughter, although his daughter's a real piece of work.
I mean, it has to do with like shows premiering in Denver. So
Anyways,
Alright.
Everything Everywhere All at Once, huh?
Yeah, the winner of the Train to Busan Award.
Yes.
Very good choice.
All right. And our final film award before the battle royale between the 3 winners is the Kill Bill Award for my favorite film of the year, the Kill Bill Award. The nominees are Turning Red, Marcel the Shell with Shoes On, Nope, Everything Everywhere All at Once, and Pearl. And the winner is Turning Red. I know that's kind of a strange choice. You're all like cringing out of your skin right now. Listen, there was just something like Turning Red. This is the first post Lasseter Pixar movie, and Troy's gonna want to crucify me for this. I am really tired of the Lasseter mentality. What if we took an abstract concept and made it into a quaint bureaucracy, and then I made a bunch.
Memento.
Yeah, I was like,
It's not quite done yet, and then he's like, and then I make a bunch of women uncomfortable. No, So this is the first one that.
That guy, is that what he's going?
Yeah, that's what. So I could go off on that.
Yeah.
He produced a whole nother movie this year, Luck on Apple TV Plus,
yeah.
where it is let's turn the concept of luck into a quaint bureaucracy, but he doesn't have the same like manpower behind it, so it sucks. And the villain of that film is an HR lady who wants to stop the protagonist's fun, which is concerning.
Yeah, that's
Which is
Maybe just a
little. So Turning Red came in, and it was like these first generation otakus making this beautiful anime-inspired, another generational trauma piece, similar to Everything Everywhere All at Once, and in some contexts. So they have these big Akira Toriyama smiles and like interesting designs. I like Chinese culture a lot in aesthetic and how it lends itself to like my favorite animated movie either last year or the year before was Over the Moon, which takes similar inspirations. Yeah.
That was
and it has
underrated.
Sandra Oh.
Yeah. Do they both have Sandra Oh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Zone and Turning Red have Sandra Oh.
Well, I owe her a lot. Oh, her a lot. Oh.
Love Grey's Anatomy.
Yeah. And I always say, like, as a teacher, I find that fictional children are so difficult to get correct because they're gonna turn out annoying. And I watched, like, I don't know, the Adam Project, where they write the child in that to be a mini Ryan Reynolds, and it gave me heartburn. And the kids in this are, they're annoying in a fashion that feels like students I've taught, and feels real, and it was very refreshing. And, this movie it hit some great spots. It briefly turns into a kaiju at the end, and it's wonderful. And so, it gets my vote.
You think it was missing something though?
I do.
Oh yeah, I do think it is wildly irresponsible that they don't address 9/11.
Yeah.
It's in Canada.
There's like right across the
It's in Toronto.
Eric,
It's a long story. It's a joke.
I know.
That, like,
I know it's an inside joke. But still.
No, it's like an internet reviewer like brought up that was his biggest problem with Turning Red. That it didn't address 9/11.
An internet reviewer who's like a COVID denier and a fucking lunatic.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Eric is like the least terminally online of us and is like, what?
I thought that was like a legit belief. Yeah, I was like, what?
Eric takes the corncob pipe out of his mouth and the monocle like pops out and he's like, this is more of a surprise than the West End premiere of Hello Dolly.
Sorry.
Sunday
who I am.
there's lots of world out
All right, so
Anyways.
here's where our judges come in to help us out. Between Everything Everywhere All at Once, The Bad Guys, and Turning Red, who should take home the Golden Film Reel as the winner of all 3? They'll all still get an award. They each get our respective award.
But one gets 2.
Yeah, one gets 2, and that's more than one. Now, I'm going to give some quarter right off the bat. Everything Everywhere All at Once was my number 2, and I'm willing to fall back and kind of give my support behind that. Especially because it has such similar themes to Turning Red, I would put my hand behind my back and count that as a win.
Well, let's hear what the judges think.
From
Troy,
our judges.
which movie do you think deserved it?
Huh?
Which one did you like the most?
Well, I like the bad. I did like I enjoyed the Bad Guys. It was beautifully animated. Like I saw that one in theaters. It was a great big. That was the only one of these three movies I saw in theaters. I saw it with Brandon. Yeah, and I like the voice acting, like Sam Rockwell, Craig Ferguson.
I will take home the Ginja's vote.
I mean, Everywhere All at Once. That was so much. Like,
It did have everything everywhere all at once.
Yeah, everything everywhere all at once, for lack of better words. Turning Red, it was really funny. It was funny. Had a cool message about. Yeah, it had a cool message about generational trauma, and
Pretty cool
it
message.
was cool and like the red.
What does your heart tell you?
Well, let's go back to Brandon.
Okay, all right.
Okay,
Troy wants to. Brandon, help us out here.
Brandon?
All right, I would say for me it's between Everything Everywhere and The Bad Guys.
Can we share what Brandon's reaction was when I invited him to this position?
Oh yeah, so
Is when I was like, Brandon, you're gonna help us decide between our favorite movies of the year, and Brandon goes, and Turning Red was this year. We go, yeah, and he goes, I see.
Yeah, I guess that one just didn't stick with me. I love the animation; it's really beautiful, and the character designs are quite good. But the story didn't necessarily stick out with me as much as Everything Everywhere. And I feel like I like the animation style of The Bad Guys even more. I don't know, it's just a very easy movie to watch, and all the designs are very clean. But for my final vote, I would say I'll go with Everything Everywhere All at Once.
Yes.
All
One vote for everything.
Eric.
Yeah, so I just think it's cool. You know, it's interesting. You got two animation films against a live action. With some, did I have a scene like one universe that was like animated? Or
It
something
kinda,
like
like,
that?
briefly.
It's like a quick second
Yeah.
in the movie, which is cool. Turning Red. At first, when I watched Turning Red, the first act, maybe not even the first act, but like the beginning, the first 20 minutes is a lot.
It
Because
can
the
like
animation style is so distinctive, the humor is very niche. And then I was like, I'm not in, like, I was kind of like, probably like Brandon, just like, nah, this ain't for me. And then once it gets to the second act, this is like, oh, shit, this is really, really good.
Mm-hmm.
Made me emotional in the forest scene when you see, you know, May's mom and all that. And I was like, oh, God.
Every character has like such a moment. The fact that the dad
Yeah.
is like such a linchpin there when he
Yeah.
just doesn't want to ruin everything.
Yeah, and we all seen those people.
And he
in our
helps out
lives.
in the third act, like when he helps out with the chalk thing.
Yeah,
chalk card
yeah.
thing.
Yeah. So then in the end, I'm like, yeah, Turning Red's a great movie. Then when I saw The Bad Guys, I was like, this is pleasing to the eyes, but it is a story I've kind of seen before as well as themes.
I'm not sure I agree with that, but
I've seen couples, like, at least the whole, you know, the roles that people are put in. that
It's
wanna be
basically a Clockwork Orange.
I don't know if they'd be that movie specifically, but maybe, I don't know.
I'm joking.
I mean, my favorite, yeah.
One of the faults of The Bad Guys is like you can kind of predict where it's going. At a certain
Kinda,
point.
yeah. But everything. But I mean, I like the cast on that one. I love the animation. I thought it was better than what it should have been.
It's the best version
Like
of
when I
what
saw
it.
that, I was like, God damn, DreamWorks, you.
It's like the best
you're
version of
doing
what it could be.
Yeah, but Everything Everywhere All at Once is one of the first movies in like 10 years that's so crazy and so kind of meta in a sense, but also just original, which I don't think we see nowadays. Like I said, dude, the rock scene made me so choked me up. It wasn't just, you know, the generational trauma, it was the love story between the husband, you know, the divorce and the situation. Dude, that shit killed me every time. The opera house scene, oh my god, dude, I was a wreck. It had pro wrestling in it, which is a little biased thing of me because I love the pro wrestling part. I thought it was hilarious. So my vote would probably be Everything Everywhere All at Once.
Alright, Troy, your vote does not matter.
But you can still cast your vote, Troy.
Yeah, let's
Alright.
let his voice be heard at least.
I think like Turning Red I said it was had nice animation. It was funny, but I couldn't relate to it all that much. I wasn't a teenage girl in the early 2000s.
You don't live in Canada, that's for sure.
Especially. I mean, the bad guys, one of my favorite things about the bad guys was like the opening shot, just 2 minutes. Like, it's a tracking shot. Like, it doesn't cut away until like they jump out the window.
Yeah, it is very exceptionally shot.
Yeah, and like, and the message it didn't just end with them being pardoned. Like they went to jail because they owned up to their mistakes, and then they were let out. And hey, Professor Marvel got what he deserved.
Yeah.
And when his mansion blew up, I just loved his reaction.
Troy, this is an audio podcast.
You've seen the movie. You people have seen the movie. You know what I'm talking about.
Good movies.
Yeah.
All three good.
And we're all at once like.
So which one are you voting for, Troy?
Yeah.
You've said this already.
I mean, everyone's voting for everyone all at once.
You can vote for whatever you want.
Troy, you can abstain from voting if you don't want to choose.
It has one.
Like, it's already one, so just which
it
one
has
was your
4
favorite?
out of the 6 of us.
But you can throw clout at whichever one was your personal favorite. Just give it that leg up.
You don't have a lot of cutting to do, Tommy.
And
This is supposed to be an easy edit. Cause
I got a lot of laughs from turning. I mean,
Turning red's your
You're not
vote.
going to lose anything, Troy.
exactly what I said.
I mean,
Choose one,
The
Troy.
bad guys, let's go.
I
I heard him say it under his breath.
don't know. I don't know.
Troy,
Okay, Troy abstains from voting.
If you want to say
Next
no
award.
vote,
we really do
no
got
vote.
we got 6 more awards to give out. Are you good?
I'll think about it.
I'm gonna
But
play
we're moving on.
Okay.
We're
So-
going back to this one.
Regardless of
I'll get
Troy's
back to it.
choice,
I'll
the
get
Golden
back to
Film Reel by 4 to 6 majority, 4 2 5 6 majority goes to Everything Everywhere All at Once. That makes Dab, for the next year until next time we do a Toasties Award, King of Movies.
All right.
So the next 2 will determine King of Video Games and King of TV.
All right. Oh, and I didn't say what my close
Oh yeah.
close one was. It was
Honorable
very,
mentions.
very close with Triple R was like very close to being my number one.
Triple R was a lot of fun.
Oh yeah, that one.
Didn't watch it.
I like that one too.
Bollywood, right?
Bollywood.
Yeah.
Totally.
Bollywood.
It's like a Bollywood Forrest Gump.
Yeah. It has like all the craziness of Everything Everywhere. It just I don't think it has quite the same like emotional.
Yeah. Well, Bollywood's like very respectable.
It is.
Like, if Triple R did a Ratatouille parody, I'd be like, this is insane. But then Everything Everywhere All at Once makes you cry with its Ratatouille parody. And it's insane.
Yeah, it really sticks with you.
Like
Next
has a
award,
lot.
I got playoff music. Got the playoff people.
Oh, I'll do some editing. I'll get. Here he is.
Alright.
All right.
Next time Troy makes his
All right,
decision,
you
start
guys-
the Jeopardy music.
Troy, when the voice of Kratos is in a long award ceremony speech contest, and his competition is Troy Bowen.
He had 12 minutes, right?
Yeah, something like that.
Give away a lot of
That's
Steam decks.
ridiculous.
All right. The next award of the evening is the Final Fantasy VII Award, which is presented to Will's favorite game of the year.
This is going to be so insanely easy to guess which one it is, but the nominees for the Final Fantasy VII Award are Crisis Core Final Fantasy VII Reunion, Lego Star Wars, The Skywalker Saga, JoJo's Bizarre Adventure All-Star Battle R, The King of Fighters 15, and the Capcom Fighting Collection. So, obviously, it is Crisis Core Reunion.
My friend Peppa Pig. Sorry. Will say it one more. Will say it one more time just in case. I-
Final Fantasy VII Crisis Core Reunion. Yes. Pretty much. So the cool thing about Final Fantasy VII, it's probably my favorite story of all time. But there's a bit in it, and it's an old game, so I can spoil it, where we find out that Cloud's backstory wasn't actually his own, and he kind of got through the trauma by adopting the backstory of a soldier named Zack. And in this story, it's Zack's journey. And it's really cool because Zack and Cloud are pretty polar opposites, because Zack is very high beat and energetic, and Cloud is a bit more somber. However, the thing where this game really shines is in its themes. There's lots of themes of why legacy matters and what it means to be a hero, and what it means to be a hero to the public, or what it means to be a hero to yourself. So that decision of, do I do good because, my boss is telling me to and most people think that's good, or do I do good because this is what I know? And then it's also really cool with its 3 main villains, Angeal-Genesis and obviously Sephiroth. And Sephiroth is my favorite video game villain of all time. His descent into madness is so well done in this game, because as opposed to the other two who kind of start off the game just being like, okay, I know who I am and I know what I have to do, one realizes that, he's a monster because he's been infused with these alien cells, so he wants to destroy the world that made him a monster. The other one wants to destroy himself so he doesn't destroy the world. And then Sephiroth is the third one, where he was like, I want the world for my own because this is my destiny. And seeing 3 characters with such drastically different viewpoints all being done so well is an absolute treat. Gameplay is super fun. There's tons of side missions. There's materia fusing.
Is this a turn-based RPG, or...?
It is not.
It's kind of like an action RPG.
Yeah, it's very similar to the Final Fantasy VII remake.
Okay.
That's what I was wondering.
So it's just, this is the Crisis Core story in the remake skin that we've been...
I haven't played the original Crisis Core, so I don't know if there is any difference, but it does feel very similar.
Okay,
Zack has a mode where he goes into, something that Cloud does in the game.
Okay.
There's just so much to the game, when you get the Buster Sword, you have to master it before you can be good at it. So it's not just you get this new weapon and you get higher stats. You have to kill a certain amount of enemies with it to level up the percentage of mastery, and then it gets stronger. And I think that's a really cool idea, especially for something as iconic as the Buster Sword. So Crisis Core, Final Fantasy VII Reunion, that is my game of the year. I love Final Fantasy VII, and I think this is a pretty perfect addition to the Final Fantasy VII log.
Yeah, Will loves Final Fantasy so much he cosplayed as Cloud Strife.
Yeah, I want to cosplay Sephiroth next.
But specifically, he likes Final Fantasy VII so much. Anything else is
Yeah, fuck all the other Final Fantasies.
By the way, I made my movie decision, Everything Everywhere All at Once. It was very thought-provoking, a little long at times.
Okay, Troy, thank you.
I'm glad we got that.
Don't be
100%
mean.
locked in.
He has a right to a vote.
Yeah,
He
I
does.
decided. It was very thought-provoking.
Okay, Troy.
And moving on.
Thank you,
It was
Troy.
very unpredictable, and I loved it.
Sweet.
Okay.
All right.
Moving on.
So, just to review, the Final Fantasy VII Award goes to Final Fantasy VII Crisis Core Reunion.
Yay!
Did we clarify that we're naming the awards after our all-time favorites in each respective?
Well, now we
category?
I guess, to be clear, I guess, I hope I got them right.
I kind of got the idea of that.
Yeah, I think it kind of speaks for itself. Oh, speaking of which, next is the Yakuza 0 Award, presented by Dav for his favorite game of the year.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, Yakuza 0 is my number 1 of all time. So, this year, I'll admit, was a little dry for me in terms of video games, because I didn't really go out of my way to play a whole bunch that came out this year specifically. I think, Will, you can relate to this after getting, the ultimate emulation machine. It's more of, I'm going to play all the older games that I missed. That being said, there were still some bangers. So, my list this year includes JoJo's Bizarre Adventure All-Star Battle R, Vampire Survivors, Hatsune Miku Project Diva Megamix Plus, Lost Judgment The Kaito Files, and Splatoon 3.
I know one of those.
Well, I just got Splatoon 2 for Christmas.
You did, and it's funny you say that because the award goes to Splatoon 3.
Alright.
This one had it kind of surprised me with how good the single player was, because Splatoon 2 did pretty good in that, especially when you consider the Octo expansion that came out later that added, I'd say, more challenging gameplay and a pretty good story of its own. But this one kind of just came right out the gate with, honestly, some pretty compelling gameplay on the single player that was very reminiscent of the Octo expansion, if anybody's played that. And it brought back some returning characters. I mean, Callie and Marie got kind of a makeover. You got Agent 3 there. And the final boss was a welcome surprise.
I loved the final boss.
Captain Cuttlefish, was he in there too?
I think he was there, but he was he was kidnapped.
Oh,
Kidnapping?
Yeah.
That was Captain Cuttlefish was kidnapped.
Yeah. The final boss in Splatoon 3 is a character that has been around since Splatoon 2, but we have never actually seen what they look like. So to see their design and it actually being really good was pretty great. The boss battle itself was maybe not fantastic, but it was still pretty fun. And aside from that, the multiplayer had a lot of welcome changes, such as 24-hour salmon run. There are, unfortunately, less Splatfests than there usually are. But overall, and also the lobby system, instead of having to just wait in a menu, you can walk around and practice. Those are all just some pretty good additions, and Splatoon is fun, and it just is what it is. So yeah, my award overall goes to Splatoon 3.
Yeah. I'm happy that one nearly missed my short list of nominations. So I was really happy that got representation through yours, because obviously the multiplayer is awesome. No one has to question that. I don't have to explain why.
Other than the connection issues,
Yeah. Yeah, true. I thought Multiverses was bad. I was kind of in the mode of Splatoon single player, but when it hits, those boss fights are really fun.
Yeah.
I thought it did a really good job. I heartily endorse that choice. I agree. The Yakuza 0 award goes to Splatoon 3. I'm just a little surprised your shortlist didn't have Sayaka Izuyoi gives you advice and dabs.
I don't know if that came out this year.
Ah, okay, alright.
Oh, yeah.
That's what's holding it back.
Just missed the
By
list.
the way,
Yeah.
anybody else think the cat from the Splatoon games kind of looks like the cat from Pixar's Luca?
I haven't seen Luca, I couldn't tell you.
It kind of reminds me of that cat.
He's a fuzzy little gremlin.
Anyway, so let me share. I was deliberating on my choice for this one on the train over here. So I appreciate that this is actually a really tough choice.
Fair enough.
The Mortal Kombat X Award. The nominees are Kirby in the Forgotten Land, King of Fighters 15, Bayonetta 3, The Quarry, and Sifu.
I've heard of Sifu.
The winner is Bayonetta 3. And really, it was so thankful that I think Kirby in the Forgotten Land is terrific. But since we just awarded Splatoon 3, I'm willing to kind of let that be the Nintendo family circle, so to speak, representation. And let me explain. Kirby in the Forgotten Land is probably the most I've ever enjoyed a Kirby game. Bayonetta 3 is not the most I've ever enjoyed a Bayonetta game. But I liked it I just love Bayonetta so much that I think I still like it better. I think that I think I said this on the last time we talked about it, but there were multiple, for some reason this year in particular, everyone's making kaiju video games. And that's not always easy. And I think of all the games to nail it, it's weirdly the Naked Witch Lady with Guns games. In that she can summon kaiju, and they feel heavy, but you feel really powerful, and it still feels really intuitive to control them. People hate the story. To be perfectly blunt, I kind of don't care. As long as I can tear shit up in cool-looking cities and do boss battle set pieces that feel like fucking Toho movies, I appreciate it. I'm there for it. So Bayonetta 3 is what's going to take home the Mortal Kombat X Award.
Very cool.
So, now this is where I'm guessing, have any of you three played any of the games we picked?
No.
Haven't beaten, but played, yes.
Okay.
Can't say that I have.
So this is where it gets... I was actually looking forward to this, because now we get to fight and scratch and bribe for the judges' votes.
Ooh.
So, to review, between Crisis Core Final Fantasy, Splatoon 3, and Bayonetta 3, panel of judges, weigh in.
Well, where I'm at right now is Crisis Core, I would say. Especially hearing about the Buster Sword upgrades. I really like upgrades in games like that.
I think you'd like it a lot, judging off, because it's very Dark Souls-esque, too. You have to dodge and block, so it's a lot of fun.
Yeah, I love those types of games.
Eric?
I played 2. I haven't played Final Fantasy Crisis Core, because I only played Final Fantasy VII Remake, which was great. It was fun. but it also still was not my cup of tea, I guess, on style of gameplay for a Final Fantasy. It's just not what I'm used to. But nonetheless, the story was great and the animation was great. And the story was great, so if you expand it, I'll be interested in playing it.
Yeah.
However, I played Bayonetta 3, and that game, the story is not the best of the franchise, but the gameplay was great. It was
When
fun.
you get to be giant Madama Butterfly in a bubble bath, and you're just like blowing bubbles at fucking guys.
Bayonetta's always had a soft spot. Like, it's such a cool game. The designs are awesome. The boss battles can be the craziest things in the world. I haven't beaten Bayonetta 3. Like, I've been playing it. I kind of stopped though for a minute because I just pop off.
Yeah.
And then Splatoon, I played it with my friends, like at my friend's place, and it's a lot of fun. And I do like the development that you can clearly tell from the first Splatoon, or Splatoon, however you pronounce it, from the first one to the third one. You can clearly tell like they've been just upgrading it every single time they can.
Yeah.
And it gets really, really, really good. So like, if I had to pick of those, I'd probably go with Bayonetta 3.
All right.
All right, Troy.
What you landed on, Troy?
So I haven't played any of these games. Like those.
And Troy, let me suggest, Cloud and Sephiroth from Smash.
Yeah.
Inkling from Smash.
And you know Bayonetta from Smash.
Which of those three do you
But
think?
Troy, another thing is you are playing Splatoon 2, so I guess they're very similar, so you could probably transfer your enjoyment from one to the other.
Yes, but at the same time, Troy, Final Fantasy VII Crisis Core has a great story and a lot of rich themes.
But Troy, in Bayonetta 3, you get to wield a mic stand that turns Bayonetta into a frog lady.
In
frogs.
Splatoon, or not in Splatoon, in Crisis Core, there's a summon where you can summon a frog.
You can summon a big Cheshire cat in Bayonetta 3, Troy.
Troy, you can summon Satan in Crisis Core.
Splatoon 3 has Big Man.
So like Crisis Core is more thought provoking.
In my opinion, it is.
I guess I'll go with that one.
All right.
Well, then, all right.
So, do we have a tie?
Also, Sephiroth is pretty cool.
No, I think
we do not have a tie.
So,
I think Sephiroth is pretty cool.
So Crisis Core,
Smash Brothers.
Crisis Core.
And it's cool seeing Cloud Stripe and Kingdom Hearts.
Yeah.
So I guess our golden joystick goes to Crisis Core Final Fantasy VII Reunion. I feel like I say
that might already be patented, Tom.
Wait, is that a thing? I
Golden
thought
Joystick Awards? Yeah. I think that's already a
Oh, that is a thing.
So the golden button.
Controller?
arcade token?
Yeah.
Okay.
Golden Arcade.
The golden arcade token goes to Final Fantasy VII Reunion, Crisis Core, Electric Boogaloo, and Knuckles.
Hell yeah.
That makes Will the king of video games until next year.
Video game.
Golden Arcade token is already taken.
It is?
Okay.
All right. Now, guys, this is my award show, and it'd be kind of nice if we were each king of something, but
Don't vote for him, guys. These are crocodile tears.
you know, it's okay. I want you all to vote honestly, but I did, invite you on the show, and I
Like, you know what? I put a lot of work into this.
Hey, Troy's brother.
Hey, Kyle. We're recording a podcast.
I like that shirt.
Yeah. It looks bottomless.
Yeah.
It says bottomless on there.
Bottomless mimosa.
Anyways.
Anyway, all right.
Well,
Anyway,
let's hear your picks.
the next award is for the Twilight Zone Award for Will's favorite TV show of the year.
Okay, this one I'm going to cheat on, but I will explain why. So my nominations, and I didn't watch a ton of TV this year, but these are the ones that I liked. Guillermo del Toro's Cabinet of Curiosities, 1899, Moon Knight, Peacemaker, and Obi-Wan Kenobi. And I'm giving it to the Cabinet of Curiosities. However, I'm not giving it to the whole series. I'm giving it to one episode. So, Cabinet of Curiosities is an anthology series. So every episode is done by another director. They range from absolutely incredible to this is one of the worst things I've ever seen. So that's why I'm only nominating the episode The Autopsy. Better Call Saul would probably be my choice, but I wasn't able to finish it before the podcast. So here's the deal with The Autopsy. The Autopsy is a cosmic horror, murder mystery, body horror, all in one, which I all love. about this alien parasite that comes down to Earth and takes over a man's body, and when he gets discovered, he has to kill himself and like puppeteer the body to get out. I don't want to spoil a lot of stuff. I did talk about it on the podcast, but it is just so terrifying. There's a part where someone is literally getting like, autopsy, so they're getting their stomach cut open, their intestines ripped out, their bones cracked, and the alien says that the host is still in there with them, and he can feel everything that he is doing with him, and the alien loves it that much more. And just an idea of something so sadistic kind of terrifies me, that would literally cut up your body just for fun. In addition, the performances are insanely good. I haven't really heard of the actors in it before this. If I have, I may have just missed them. But the main cop and detective, or I guess he's not so much a detective as he is a coroner, play almost Shakespearean, but in a modern context. And I don't know how else to put it, but that's how elegantly they play everything. So it's really, really good. There were episodes of Cabinet of Curiosities that I hated, like the first one we all watched together, and I was like, that's it? Are you kidding me? But the autopsy was so good that I am, and the Twilight Zone is an anthology series too, and I had my favorite episode of that. So I am giving the Twilight Zone Award to Cabinet of Curiosities, The Autopsy.
Right. Before we move, what is 1899? I haven't heard you mention.
It's like a weird sci-fi show that my mom recommended to me. It's like a period piece slash sci-fi. Oh my gosh, my mom described it. She described it as 2001: A Space Odyssey-esque, and I was very disappointed because it wasn't anything like it. So thanks, Mom.
But you still liked it.
I still liked it, but I was expecting a lot more.
Okay.
It's neat, but I can't say anything without spoiling it.
All right.
So, yeah, definitely.
Alrighty. Well, I'm glad Guillermo won an award, and it wasn't for Pinocchio. We're now Dav will now present the Breaking Bad award to his favorite TV show of the year.
All right. So, this was a very banger year for shows, honestly. All 5 of these are just fucking amazing, frankly. So, the nominees are Star Wars Andor, Cyberpunk Edgerunners, the final season of Better Call Saul, the final batch of JoJo Stone Ocean, and Kaguya-sama Love is War Ultra Romantic. And the award goes to Better Call Saul. Oh my god. It's such a... Okay, honestly, Better Call Saul, overall, masterpiece. Just amazing show. Breaking Bad, also a masterpiece. So, it's just a perfect sequel, or prequel, I should say, to a perfect show. And that made this sort of last season stressful. Like, it gave me a bit of anxiety, because it's like, how do you end this show in such a way that it leads into Breaking Bad in a satisfying way, and also closes the story of Saul Goodman in a satisfying way. And I'm not going to go into a lot of detail, especially because Will still needs to watch it, but it does it perfectly, like better than I could have ever imagined. This season was kind of split up in 2, and when it left off the first half, it was just a huge moment and a massive, massive cliffhanger.
Was it... Have I gotten there yet?
You have not gotten there yet.
Okay.
And then so it picks up immediately at that moment, and it just... That episode is just perfect. It is... it's action-packed. There's a perfect tone to it. There's a lot of tension, and it just balances everything amazingly. And the rest of the show past that does not lose steam. It just keeps on going and going. And we see this amazing transition from Better Call Saul to Breaking Bad chronologically. And we see this perfect closure as we sort of, as the show has sort of, before that, at sort of the first episode of every season would cut to, where's Saul Goodman now? It wraps that up in a very nice way as well. So overall, I mean, Better Call Saul's got to be it. So.
Better Call Saul.
See, I've never watched an episode, but somehow it brings me a lot of joy just because, like, I don't know, Breaking Bad and Better Call Saul memes just hit a certain
something.
way, really. And I feel like I've
Kid named Finger.
mitoticized at least, like, a season of plot just from, like, I think I found a listicle that was, like, every breakfast Walter Jr. has over the course of Breaking Bad. And it, like, it was like, Walt Jr. has Captain Crunch, eggs, and what appears to be turkey bacon, as Walt reveals his new shaved head.
So, for someone who hasn't seen either Breaking Bad or Better Call Saul, which one would you recommend watching first?
Breaking Bad.
Okay.
Better Call Saul has a lot of
Like cool Easter eggs.
It's
Moments
Easter
like,
eggs.
That
Look
makes
at that, but
sense.
also there are just straight up scenes that take place after
Afterwards.
Breaking Bad, and the way the show concludes is it shows more after Breaking Bad. That's not going to make any sense unless you've seen it.
And then you can watch El Camino if you want.
Yeah.
Which like El Camino. It's good.
Speaking of potentially illegal substances, Troy, what's in this jar?
It's Kyle's. I think it's honey garlic or something.
Oh!
It's like a meal prep thing. It's a big mason jar full of like brown liquid and oats. So we were like,
It's just down here, like, we were just...
Oh yeah. I'll be right back.
Well, Troy, we're
It's
in the middle
okay,
of a
Troy.
report. Can we wait?
It's not immediate.
It's not me. I was kind of just trying to make it a bit. I don't know.
And you failed.
Yeah.
Oh, it's been improv. What do you got, Tommy?
All right. So, the Breaking Bad award, aptly enough, goes to Better Call Saul. All right. That leaves us at the final individual award of the evening, though we still have to battle out our 3 shows after, the Simpsons Award for my favorite TV show of the year.
Go!
Thank you, Troy. Well, these are all winners, so it should be woohoo. Woohoo! There we go. Our nominees are Chainsaw Man, Yellow Jackets, Call of the Night, Peacemaker, and House of the Dragon. And our winner is Yellow Jackets. Now, I was looking forward to this one, so I got to sell you guys on it, and I've never had a chance to talk to you about it. This was in the Lost. I briefly mentioned the show in our Lost episode that the recording corrupted on. In our Lost episode, you two may recall this, I said, listen, I can either talk about Yellow Jackets or the Chipmunk Adventure, and you both insisted on hearing the Chipmunk Adventure.
Yeah.
And here we are, just a year later, Yellow Jackets is still on my mind. It is my favorite show. Now, it's also slightly cheating, because it's only had its first season, and that started at the very end of December. I never should have mentioned the jar.
Troy is like reaching across the table to get the jar.
we gotta get the jar out of here.
Troy, I was just joking about it.
I mean, isn't there another jar right there?
It's fine.
Anyways, you were saying Yellow Jacket. Every time you talk
Keep
about Yellow
my
Jackets,
jar's mouth!
every time you talk about Yellow Jackets,
Keep my jars out of your freaking mouth.
Alright. So Yellow Jackets, I'm kind of cheating. It started December of last year, but leaked into January of this year, so I'm counting it. Yellow Jackets is a show about a high school girls soccer team getting on a plane for nationals and crashing in the woods. And it flashes back and forth with them as adults dealing with it in the modern day. So it's a lot of really talented young actresses when they're in high school. The voice of Jinx from Arcane is one of the major characters, Ella Purnell. Then when they grow up, and it's really cool because it's like all these new generation actresses of like in their 20s or so playing the young versions. Then it's like these wonderful like dames of like middle millennial TV. You've got Melanie Linsky, Christina Ricci, Juliette Lewis. They're all playing their older versions. And you learn that when they were in the woods, they resorted to cannibalism, they resorted to sacrifice, they kind of form a cult, and it's kind of unpiecing that mystery. And like the biggest mystery of the show is who is Pit Girl, because the first image you see in the show is the girls in a totally feral state chasing someone you can't tell who it is into a pit. And you see roughly who's alive in the modern day, but it's kind of hard to explain. It's very non-linear, because you're zooming back and forth between them in the woods, them in school, them in the modern day. And you wonder, like, you see some, like, oh, are they dead? Because they're not in the modern day. Then it's like, oh, they might be alive. They just might be kind of fucked up. there's a girl who got her face eaten off by a wolf. We haven't seen her in the modern day yet. We haven't gotten confirmation she's dead. She could be out there with, like, fucked up post-wolf attack face. It does some... Christina Ricci's the best character on it. She plays Misty. So, as a kid, Misty is the nerdy girl that everyone pushes around. And she falls in love with their coach. And said coach, in the plane crash, loses his leg. And she's, like, nursing him back to health and has full autonomy over him because... she's helping him, and it's, like, deeply fucked up. And then she grows up. She's Christina Ricci of Wednesday Addams fame, and she's a nurse at a retirement home who just, like, thrives on control. And she's this deeply fucked up person. But it's hard to say she's, like, the villain of the series, because she's just one survivor who survived this insane experience and is now, like, a deeply controlling sociopath. Melanie Linsky, we love her. She's someone who's trying to, like, cover it up, but, like, she's trying to just be the housewife that makes it all and the homemaker that has it all. Every now and then, she finds a rabbit in the yard and just skins it just to feel like a little feral again. I think it is I think it's really cool. This is its own IP. It's not a spin-off of anything. It's just its own creative idea. It is Lord of the Flies meets Mean Girls, but this one doesn't have a shitty musical. Eric, you want to get into it?
Musicals are great, but it's fun.
You're losing your vote over here from them.
Yeah.
Says the guy who hates Six. Give me a break.
I haven't seen Mean Girls or
I don't
the
hate
musical.
Six. I think it's just overrated.
Anyway, huh?
It also has a bit of that 1993's Alive, like that movie where they crash in the
Yeah, it is a bit of Alive. Yeah.
Cannibalism and stuff.
Yeah, cannibalism's
and
involved.
plane crash.
Yeah. So that's kind of my palette on Yellow Jackets. So now we have to crown the king of TV.
I know, where do we find Yellow Jackets?
Oh, thank you, Troy. I can plug them right now. It is on Showtime, which I have access to via my Hulu plugin. So I think on Amazon Prime and on Hulu, you can, like, pay a little extra for...
Yeah, okay.
Or any other means that the Toasties don't legally endorse.
But I do individually.
But I'm tired of pretending I don't.
Views are my own. Alright,
Whoa.
so...
Views, I'm easy there.
Should we start with Brandon again?
Alright, so, just to review...
Actually, I think
Let's brawl. Hold up. Well, let's review our options. It's between Cabinet of Curiosities, most chiefly The Autopsy, Better Call Saul, and Yellow Jackets.
Okay. Well, I've only seen The Autopsy, but that one was pretty good, so I'll go with Autopsy.
Okay.
Yeah, this is a tough one. I've only seen Cabinet of Curiosities. The Autopsy episode was really good. Really horrifying, and they didn't have to rely on a bunch of, like, cheap scare tactics, but like Will also said, the first episode was pretty rough, and so I don't know if it would be fair to say the entire show season is deserving of the award.
Episode 1...
Let the record show this is not best episode of the year. It is best show of the year.
So that's a bit tough. I would award The Autopsy if I could. I might have to go with... Oh, what's up, Troy?
Troy already made his vote. He doesn't get the date.
All
back.
right.
Troy, you are locked in.
Or maybe...
Troy, it's okay, because the Cabinet of Curiosities, even though the first episode is bad, it also has another episode called Graveyard Rats, which is probably, I think it would give Tommy in specific a panic attack, because it's about this dude who robs graves, and he finds out that these, like, gigantic rats are digging tunnels through them, but he needs to find, like, the stuff in the graves to pay off a debt or he'll die. So he has to, like, crawl through the tunnels on his hands and knees, and the rats are there, and he can't back up.
No. No.
So it does have its other shining moments. Pinkman's Model is also very good.
But Troy...
Unfortunately not of the Jesse variety.
But Troy, you know what's better than Graveyard Rats?
Yellow Jackets?
Yellow Jackets!
I mean, the show sounds pretty good.
Troy, were you a 2.5 Men guy the way I was?
I remember the scene. Man.
Okay, we interrupted Brandon like
I'm sorry.
I'm like, well, the brain
Because I was just
sucks.
going to connect it back to Melanie Linsky, see if I could win Troy over. But let's Brandon.
Let's look at Brandon.
That's all right. I don't know if I can decide. I think I want to go with Better Call Saul, but I don't know
Get that
like
stand,
enough.
I guess, right?
I guess I'll just go with Better Call Saul.
That is a good
Alright,
choice, because
very
Better
good
Call
choice.
Saul is a good show. Rec?
Hey, have you watched Better Call Saul?
No, or Breaking Bad.
He appreciates the memes though.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Kid named Finger.
We're in tooth and claw hours. We're in like just
You're trying to convince us?
Eric, let me tell you something. I could have been dishonest and taken home King of TV by getting you in the horn of picking Peacemaker.
Yeah, no.
That should show you how strongly I feel about Yellow Jackets.
No, man, you made. I'm interested in the show, especially after you said it's Lord of the Flies with Mean Girls. Like that's a pretty cool.
Eric, I'll show you the autopsy after this.
I'm sorry, you shot yourself in the foot with that argument, saying that the whole show is not great.
No, I said there are certain
certain episodes that are not great, but because it's an anthology, it's part of the whole scope of the show that is your favorite show of the year.
But I would say,
like for me, Peacemaker was my favorite show.
Peacemaker was
no
good.
episode missed. It kept me in the whole
Chainsaw
time.
through a gorilla.
Anthology, I would have loved the new Twilight Zone, but the anthology. I mean, there's some great episodes, but some rough ones. That means that's why I didn't make it my favorite show. So I think like for what the award is, I would have to consider Tommy's and Dev's. Now, what sucks is I've seen Better Call Saul in the last season, and I do love it. I do love Breaking Bad, and I haven't seen the show, so it's like I feel bad. But yeah, I have to go Better Call Saul because everything. I mean, it is like, dude, you have to close. Like that's the thing about series. You know, it's hard to close them out. You know, Sopranos. I think it's a fine series finale. Game of Thrones had a iffy series finale, but I wasn't as offended as most people were. And then Breaking Bad had a perfect ending, and then you have to like go up against that. Even El Camino had a perfect ending for Jesse Pinkman's character, and then you got for Saul Goodman, who was arguably the fan favorite of all, even of all the Breaking Bad. It's either Mike or
Trap.
Saul's my favorite character.
You know, it was like those characters, you know, and you have to like close it out, and the way they did it, they perfectly did it. And it's incredibly difficult to do that. So yeah, I have to go with Better Call Saul. But I do respect the love that you guys have for the episode as well as for a TV series. Not to because if you said Peacemaker, I'd be like, But even that, I don't know if that's true though. I'd be like, I don't know.
It's not. I had to follow my heart.
But because of that, I want to watch all of these shows.
Yeah.
Although I've seen a couple episodes.
Yellow Jacket sounds pretty good.
Thank you, Troy.
Yeah.
Well, I guess that brings us to the Golden Roku going to Better Call Saul. And Heavy is the head that wears 2 crowns, as Dav also takes home the title of King of TV.
I got a big ass head, so it's
Yeah.
fine.
Troy, bolt the door. Lock it.
Tommy's gonna.
We're not
Tommy's
leaving.
gonna.
I'm getting some kind of crown.
Okay.
I don't know what. We're gonna smash this down.
You know what? I'd say
All right.
I've got a great crown. You know, Tommy, since you didn't win any, you could have the worst taste award. No, I'm joking.
JK.
I've seen many musicals. I mean, if you want to go up against that.
I'll give my top 5 popular movies that I hate, and you'll give me the shit taste crown.
Oh, okay.
Glass Onion sucks. Guillermo Pinocchio. Give me a fucking break, Eric.
Glass Onion was good.
Huh?
Glass Onion was good.
Ryan Johnson was like, I'm gonna make a fucking Joe Rogan parody. What do those swear again? I'm pretty sure it's hot pink and leopard print.
And that's why it's funny.
Yeah, and it's good commentary. And
It's over the top parody.
Eric, Eric, I'm
mystery.
sorry. I'm sorry you needed to be told that Elon Musk is dumb.
Yeah,
I'm sorry
I
you
don't
needed
like,
that.
I 100% get the commentary. Absolutely. Like,
So it was surprising to you? So you knew it.
Yes, I knew the commentary.
So you
that they were trying to
gained
make.
nothing. You only received
Why are
what you
looking at
already
You're
knew.
only looking at the characters. I'm looking at the story and the mystery behind it. How they do everything.
sucked.
You don't have to learn
Dude.
anything from it.
Okay, so what? You knew that she had a twin sister the whole time? And
Okay.
that was
Okay,
pretty cool.
spoilers. We're gonna have to say. Okay, you knew that.
You didn't even like the first Knives Out, William.
I wasn't. I was saying we needed to censor that. How did you misconstrue that? And I was
I thought
thinking
you
you were
don't.
wrong.
Listen, I put together this podcast, and it makes me king. See? See?
And then Dragon jump.
Ah!
Pinocchio's good.
Nobody move! I got a dragon here, I'm not afraid to use it!
Hey,
I'm
hey.
a Dunga on the edge! That's my nickname, Dunga.
You got any
Well,
other
what's your other
popular
top? What are
haters?
your other bad movies you don't like?
Let's see. What else was it? What else
Saw
was
some
it?
card on the Western Front. I want to sock you in the face.
I don't think you even watched that.
It's a great movie.
Fuck Bullet Train.
I haven't seen it.
I haven't seen it.
Okay.
I want to see it though.
It wasn't even that terrible. I just felt I wanted to see if I could. Eric strikes me as like a Bullet Train lad. I want to see if I can get a little
think
fired
Eric would
up.
like Bullet
I like the
Train.
aesthetic of it. I like
It
the
has some
cast.
cute things about it. I didn't hate it. I
It
like the
looks
guy who
too
likes.
much- It looks like a Quentin Tarantino wannabe though.
It look. It's like.
Like if Quentin Tarantino had this.
By the
script, he
way
probably would've made
of
it
Guy Ritchie, I'd say.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kind of looks like that. I like
Bullet
it.
Train was directed by Guy Ritchie.
No.
He gets the
In
vibes.
style.
He gets the vibes on
It's
it.
the Deadpool 2 director, though, so you'd like that, Troy. The guy who
Back
likes
in
Thomas, the guy who likes Thomas the Tank Engine, choice.
Well, okay,
Like
well,
that guy.
Which is funny
What's
since
another
you
movie you
hate
didn't
Thomas.
I
Tank.
don't hate Thomas the Tank Engine.
I also like Casey Jr. like at Disneyland.
Like you and I agree on how whatever.
Okay.
Don't worry, darling. You and I agree.
Oh.
Don't worry, darling was
Trash.
Yeah.
Wow.
I don't think that was very well received over.
No. I just want one last chance to make everyone mad. I guess I'll be king of piss babies until next year.
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah, I don't know. When my game of the year next year is what's coming?
My
actually-
friend Peppa Pig.
My Friend Peppa Pig.
Maybe Ted Lasso was my favorite this year.
You know what? That's a good way to like wrap off the conversation. What are we looking forward to next year? And are we gonna look back at this recording and be like, oh, I thought.
I mean, I don't want to give my opinion because you all freaking roasted me.
Well, let's hear it.
Fire
Oh, let's hear it.
Let's hear it.
Eric, are you gonna say a Marvel project?
For a movie?
Yeah.
No.
Okay, that's the only thing I would tell you to get
for
out
movies
for.
in
No.
2020.
I'm just gonna throw out Tears of the Kingdom, and I think we're pretty safe to say that's gonna be good.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to Tears of the Kingdom.
I thought-
I hope Dragon Quest 3.5 comes out.
I just switched Tears of the Kingdom. Wasn't taking so many cues from Sonic
I wonder if
Frontiers.
you're gonna like
Yeah.
this because I'm excited because it's one of my favorite
Let's hear it,
working
let's hear it.
directors. Is Greta Gerwig's Barbie?
Oh, that looks
I am
amazing.
looks
absolutely.
great.
Greta Gerwig
How
is arguably my favorite director working right now. I
Yeah.
love Lady Bird. I freaking loved her rendition of Little Women.
Mm-hmm.
And the Barbie, just the concept of it just looks awesome.
It looks amazing.
So
Space
I-
Odyssey parody.
It just looks ridiculous.
I haven't
I'm
seen the
excited
trailer yet.
for it, so.
You'll like the trailer, I think.
Super Mario looks dope.
Yeah.
Across the
Oh.
Spider-Verse?
Let's go!
Spider-Verse.
Spider-Verse.
Spider-Verse, yeah.
Super Mario will be the best 7 out of 10 next year. That's my prediction.
Like a Dragon Ishin?
Ah.
Yeah?
Pizza Tower is an indie game I'm really looking forward to. I'm looking forward to that one.
I think Hades 2 starts early access next year.
No, yeah,
So
it's
this is
gonna be.
me being like a historic guy.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
I love historic movies and all that stuff. Like part of my favorite movie is what Caught on the Western Front. They're making a Napoleon Bonaparte movie.
Oh, and it's Ridley Scott, right?
Yeah.
Oh, he
and
rules.
Ridley Scott's like a hit and miss.
What did you
I'm
think of the last
scared.
duel?
It was great.
I don't know what everyone got their panties in a
It
bunch
was
about.
great.
It's pretty good. Yeah.
It was a great. There was
Like I get it's an unpleasant
and then people like making fun of Matt
subject.
Damon, and I'm like, dude, that's just what they look like in
I-
Anglo-Saxon England at the time.
Matt Damon was like basically Adam Driver's HR manager, right?
Kinda, yeah.
That's like the funniest thing in the world. Is like a medieval knights
But,
like
like-
HR guy who has to be like.
So after I saw that, and he was like making Napoleon Bonaparte, which I'm a big Napoleon fan. I'm just like, I want to see that movie so bad. And then the TV shows is like Ted Lasso season 3.
I tried like the first episode of Ted
Bro,
Lasso. Do I gotta push through a
keep it
bit?
going,
all right,
dude.
all right. One of these days.
Every episode's a warm hug.
Warm hug.
Did
yeah.
you mention Oppenheimer yet?
Oh,
yeah,
Oppenheimer looks
yeah.
awesome.
I'm hoping for Nolan to come back.
No,
Yeah.
I'm never the
He's-
biggest Nolan guy,
He's
but
been off, man. Tenet, I didn't like.
Tenet
I'm one of
was
the few that don't like Interstellar.
remember when
Oh,
Brandon
yes.
wanted to watch Tenet for movie night, and like we're like 30 minutes in, and Dav just goes, "Is the character's name protagonist?" and Brandon's like, yeah." And we're all on Discord doing the screen share, and Dav just pauses the film and opens a new tab and goes to YouTube and types in "Family Guy funny moment."
Here's your palette.
Brandon, you haven't gotten to speak up much. What are you looking forward to next year?
I don't know. I was kind of thinking about the new Hellboy game. I don't know if that's next year or the year
That looks
after.
it looks so dope.
It's like the original novel, like the
Yeah.
style. Oh, dude,
I hope you get to fight the monkey with a gun from the original. It's a monkey. He's got a gun. Ooh, really good update. My queen Anna Kendrick has been on a break from acting, but her first new release since the pandemic is coming out the weekend of my birthday next month.
Yeah.
So that'll be quite the day. That's
What's
tailor-made for yours truly.
What's that?
Alice Darling. It's about her. She's playing a woman in an abusive relationship, and she has divulged that it's slightly reflective of experiences of her own. So I'm gonna watch it and get real mad that she was treated that way.
What do you guys think of Cocaine Bear?
Oh yeah.
It'll be nice, trashy fun.
Knock at the Cabin.
Oh.
Listen, M. Night, even if he doesn't always hit, it's always a fucking swing.
Bro,
Yeah.
listen. It's Dave Bautista, dude.
I love Batista looking like he's gonna burst out of his like button down, and he's like, "You gotta make a choice."
Dude, Ruthless Aggression Batista in the WWE was like, he's like a top wrestler at the time for me, man. He's a great actor. I love it.
His head looks like a little hedgehog. He's got the little ridges. He's like,
Yeah, dude.
"Listen,
I love Batista.
every time I'm in this button down, my biceps are gonna pop off a button,
Yeah.
and 1,000,000 people will die until you make a choice."
Of course, you got Peacemaker season 2. Hype for that.
Oh yeah.
Dude, it's Peacemaker.
Well, James Gunn's about to be busy. I don't know if we got a hard date on season 2.
Dude, I think it's 2023.
Well, did we get?
Because they're not doing DC. I don't think DC announced any new movies coming up.
He's doing work though. He's cleaning up. He's
Yeah.
like, if
But
you're not working,
he's already filmed. Because I know, because there was an interview. Because the only reason why I know Peacemaker might come out in 2023 is because they were talking about getting John Cena at WrestleMania 39. I'm hype. It's in LA. It's gonna be sick. They were like, "Well, he can't be," but he was already filming the season 2 for Peacemaker last August, I think, like this August.
All right.
So it should be relatively coming up pretty soon.
Yeah. What were you gonna say, Dav? I'm sorry.
I was gonna say, Will, are we getting Evil Dead Rises next year?
Yeah.
Yeah, we are.
Oh,
That one could be good.
is Bruce Campbell gonna be in it?
No.
No,
He's producing it though.
I mean,
He's doing like an animated
as
series.
long as there's anything involving Bruce Campbell, I'm in.
Yeah.
Like-
I would let Bruce Campbell punch me in the face.
He's in Sky High, so.
Are we getting Kim Wexler the series?
I don't think if we are getting that, it's probably not next year.
I could have sworn. Maybe I imagined that. Maybe that was something
we're getting
somebody
better
else.
Fuel.
Ooh, Furiosa's gonna be. Next
You're,
year.
yes.
I'm hyped for
yeah.
that.
AJT. AJT.
And then you got Little Mermaid. I'm here for it.
I'm just staunchly anti-Disney remake in any context.
I'm one of the few that actually like the Beauty and the Beast one.
And me and myself.
I remember Will and I saw it and we liked watching it, but when you dissect anything about it, we're like, wait.
It don't make
second.
sense, dude. Like I
No.
don't get why they're doing it. And then Wonka, they're making a.
I'm
that's
morbidly
not-
curious about Wonka.
I like the casting. I like Timothy Chalamet.
Gonna have Olivia Colman and Keegan Michael Key in it.
They're in Wonka?
Yep.
Interesting.
Yeah, I bet you're gonna love Elemental.
I'm
Your whole
actually,
bureaucracy.
Ugh.
I actually find that to be very interesting. Though. Like, I'm Wade. I'm Ember.
I'm looking
I'm
forward.
hooked.
I'm looking
I'm
forward to the
not
fan
seeing
art
this
of the
movie.
Fire Girl.
Oh Jesus, Tommy. And with that, our Toasty.
You said you were excited for Fire Emblem Engage, right?
Yeah.
That one. I mean, I
Dude,
might.
I don't care about the character
Yeah.
design. They don't look great. It looks like Crest toothpaste in their hair.
Also,
guess what?
Actually,
That gameplay and the story they've done recently.
Eric, I can make them less mad at you. Street Fighter 6 looks amazing.
Street Fighter 6 looks fun.
I'm the only one who doesn't like Street Fighter 6. I
Well-
think everyone else does.
French muscle lady who pirouettes you into the air and then does the Vogue pose.
You really need to get
Oh,
yes.
DC's coming out with Shazam. And
Yeah.
Aquaman. I forgot.
Shazam.
Oh, that was
I forgot
cool.
those two.
They're making 2 more movies that feel like Marvel movies, and then James Gunn's gonna reset
Yeah,
everything.
yeah.
Guardians of the Galaxy 2, 3.
All three.
You know what? I am like
I'm a big Guardians
I'm the
fan, so-
biggest Marvel hater in the world. I'll go see another Guardians.
Hey, Guardians is like the only consistent franchise.
Yeah.
That's our thing. That's
Yeah.
amazing.
Also-
Also, and you wanna know why? James Gunn.
James Gunn.
James Gunn's that
And
dude.
by the way,
You know what? I don't agree with everything he says. When he says things like every DC actor's out except for my wife, I don't know. But he makes a good movie.
Who's
Yeah.
his wife again?
Hardcore. The blonde lady in Peacemaker.
Oh, well, there she is. Well,
Yeah.
she's good.
She's
but-
great. Yeah.
and by the way, I wanted to say, like, some people don't like the live action remakes. Like, I try to keep an open mind about them. Like,
Okay,
if they're gonna keep making them, they have to keep an open mind about them.
I want them to reach out to me to play Sykes when they do live action Oliver and Company.
Oh.
Never happening.
I think they should. I think Disney should just put their Marvel stuff, besides like some of the movies, just straight to Disney Plus, including the movies.
That is I don't want to go out to the theaters to see Ant-Man and the Wasp meet the Spot.
Hey, watch your mouth, alright? I'm an Ant-Man guy.
Oh boy, I can't wait for Bill Murray to pull down his hood and be.
I know, I get it.
I'm gonna steal a French fry off your plate, Ant-Man.
Hey, I get it. Ant-Man does not have the best villains, alright? They even had a little Easter egg of, pun intended, Dr. Egghead.
Have you seen the leaked design of MODOK, Eric? It made me want to. It made me want to jump in a bathtub with a toaster.
Sorry, it sounded like the Marvel video game. Like, it wasn't a good game, but like
Not a good game.
Their design of MODOK was perfect.
It was pretty good.
Yeah, it was great. But yeah, no, I'm just superheroed out of it.
Yeah.
Unless it's like different, like Peacemaker.
But hey, even if superheroes as we know it come to an end, at least this year, the hierarchy of DC changed forever.
That's great.
Says Dwayne.
I care.
Dwayne Johnson got
For the folks at home, I'm wearing my Black Adam Justice Society hoodie right now.
And by the way, now that Bob Iger's back as the CEO of Disney, I don't think they're just gonna force their theatrically released movies to Disney Plus.
I hope not.
Yeah.
Win or Lose is a Pixar series about Little League Baseball. That'll be great.
Yeah. That's nice.
Well, Will, I'm sure you're excited for the Final Fantasy VII Rebirth.
Oh yeah, I am very
Is that
excited.
just the next installment?
Yeah,
Yep.
they're in
Okay.
the remake sort of trilogy that they're doing.
So we're probably approaching the Barrett stuff.
Yes,
take?
I
Yeah.
believe so. The Barrett and
Ooh.
Aerith's.
I mean, I'm a big Harry Potter guy, so Hogwarts
Really?
Legacy.
Hogwarts
I
Legacy.
love Harry Potter.
All right.
Hey, so Hogwarts Legacy, I'm hyped for it.
Okay, I'll take your word for that one.
Spider-Man 2.
Oh hell yeah!
Oh yeah, with
Yeah, that
Venom.
was a-
Venom's coming. We're getting Venom.
Venom.
Finally, we'll have a Venom who doesn't say things like "Where's the chocolate?"
Voiced by Tony Todd himself.
Yeah.
Which is perfect casting.
Absolutely.
Suicide Squad kill the Justice League. That was pretty
Open mind, I might rent that one. I hope it's cool.
I kind of hate everything Suicide Squad except for the Suicide Squad, to be honest.
I was just gonna. I hear whispers that Avatar 3 is gonna come out and be a tight 85 minutes. No. Ridley Scott wants to do a 3-hour theatrical cut and then release a 9-hour streaming version. Did I say Ridley Scott? Fuck James Cameron.
Cameron.
I'm getting my old Hollywood white guys mixed up.
Because Ridley Scott did Blade Runner, right?
Yeah.
And John Carpenter did the thing.
He released that movie like 20 times.
That's probably what I was thinking
John
of. 'Cause
Carpenter did the thing.
I didn't know James Cameron, Troy.
No,
Did I say John Carpenter?
No, James Cameron did Avatar. John Carpenter did the thing.
Who mentioned John
Troy just
Carpenter?
brought up John Carpenter just to bring up John
okay.
Carpenter. 'Cause they had the
Greta
same initials.
Gerwig did Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
No, she didn't.
Freaking
But she's gonna do. She's
It'll
gonna
probably
do
be the
this.
best Ninja Turtles movie in a long time because guess what? Greta Gerwig's that director, bruh. That's why she only does like barely any movies because she's so good at it.
I know Greta Gerwig's involved in the Snow White remake.
Really?
Yeah, I'm just saying, if you guys like movies, watch
God,
watch
I
The
feel
Fablemans.
so bad.
It's a good
The
movie.
Snow White has Rachel Ziegler in it, and I've heard her on some podcasts, and she's one of the funniest fucking people. And I'm so sad she's being wasted on a Snow White remake. She's genuine because she's also in Shazam 2, and she was in West Side Story a year ago. And she's great. And if you hear she's very naturally likable, and she's not like a fake Hollywood person. She talked shit about Shazam on the pod. She was like Rachel Ziegler. She came on, she was like, yeah, DC doesn't have much to lose, so we didn't want to compete with Avatar, so it got delayed. And I just appreciate that honesty, and it makes me sad she's getting fed to the Disney machine.
Since you mentioned the name Avatar, I know it's not really related, but I think next year is when we start getting the the third Avatar series, The Last Airbender.
This one's like an Earthbender
This
focus?
one, yeah, this one's, I guess it's gonna be
yeah.
Earthbender, and then they're also making a bunch of movies, and they're making
doing a movie post with the grown up,
Yeah, the
with
gang.
original.
Bold choice to go with Earth, because they were like, we did an air and a water, and they were like, we gotta get the lamest one out of the way now.
What?
I think Earth is cool, man.
Yeah.
I love Planet Earth.
I could throw a brick at you, and I'm an Earthbender.
Yeah, people want to be airbenders. Oh, what, you're gonna freaking...
You're gonna blow me?
As long as we're all in
Blow me
agreement.
over?
As long as we're all in agreement that fire is the coolest.
Yes.
Well, which one, Eric?
Earth.
I like that
give me
fire
it.
can use electricity. I think that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, but only like...
Just like- Black Adam.
And they have a very low bar to clear considering Korra, so...
I couldn't speak to that.
I don't know, Korra had its like moments here
Compared
and
to,
there.
the original.
Oh, well,
it's
I mean,
like-
God, compared to the original.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, thank you all for tuning in to the Toasty Awards. I'm the king of piss babies, Tommy.
You got the roasty, is what you got.
I got the roasty!
I am the king of video games, and I'm Will.
I am the double king walking away with my diabetes and my crown stab.
And I'm Troy, one of the judges. I'm Brandon.
Same,
Alright.
hey, same time next year.
Same time
Same
next
time.
year.
Yeah, this is fun. Alright.
Alright.
See you next time, all.
Um,
That was awesome.
Yeah.